Hello, Libra, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of June 14th through the 20th. And during that time, we have a new moon that comes in on the 15th. And of course, that's a time for a fresh start and new beginning. I call it our little mini new year. Each time we have a new moon, you can change a thing and start a new thing. So you've learned a new skill or start a new project, inner or outer, whatever you might be working on. We then have the waxing crescent energy for the rest of the week. And that's a time when we do have our heightened senses, and you can start to make those plans and start to take those first steps into those things that you've decided to work on for this cycle. So please keep those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter, Libra. So, as always, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't here on the table for someone else. And your overall message for this particular reading is that your hard work is paying off. Okay, let's see what the Libra Collective has going on for the week. As I'm shuffling the tarot, my fun weekly reminder for you this week is that you take the time to do a deep dive and learn something new. So, I think that I learn new things every single day. There's rarely a day that goes by that I'm like, I didn't know that. But to really do a deep dive, I have to focus. I have to set aside time. Like, I'm going to read this book and I'm going to do it on this day, or set a few hours here aside to do that. And that's what I mean by learning something new this week. So a deep dive, like read a book or find a lecture or take a class, but just learn something new, even if it's just something fun. Even if you go take a square dancing class because you want to learn how to square dance, go get your square dance on, Libra, whatever it might be for you. So have fun doing it also. All right, let's get into this reading. Libra, June 14th through the 20th, your hard work is paying off. Your present energy is the Seven of Cups. Your hard work is paying off so much that you have so many choices. And I always say that choice is a luxury. Think back to a time when you only had a choice of two things. That's not really that fun, but wow, when you've got seven things in front of you, just make sure that you're choosing wisely, choosing what's in alignment with you, what's in alignment with your goals and aspirations. So your current situation is the Three of Wands. So this could be some sort of travel or new venture that you might be taking out on. And maybe that's why you're making these decisions. You might be deciding something about a vacation, which that sounds like fun. But you're deciding, where are we going to go? Where are we going to stay? What are we going to do while we're there? All those kind of decisions that have to be made. So and it could be something about a new venture too. This could be, maybe a new career path that you're moving towards, or a new job even. So lots of decisions to be made there, working out all those finer details. But it looks like something new is on the horizon for you. So that's kind of exciting. And your hard work is paying off. So maybe that's why you deserve a vacation. Maybe that's why you are also moving up, maybe in your career. What is at the root of this situation is, because you're sitting at a point where you've done the time, you've done the work, and there's really nothing you can do except to wait for the harvest to come in. So, of course, that puts you in an energy to either take a break with a vacation or to think about what's next for you. So, totally goes in line with that. In your recent past here, Libra, you're finishing something up with the Ten of Wands. So, some final push through that you've done. Again, you're kind of waiting on the things to come to fruition, but you've got lots of choices and you've got this future to think about. Or again, maybe just take a break, right? Sometimes you do work hard. The hard work's paying off so much that you need to take some of that time and just take a break and take a little vacation, right? Even if it's just a long weekend, just get away, enjoy yourself. What's on your mind this week, Libra, is the Knight of Cups. So also moving forward in, positive emotional action here is what that Knight of Cups represents. This means that you're letting people around you know, whether it's your romantic partner or your friends, just how you feel. You're kind of just open-hearted this week to let those kinds of things come out of your mouth, from your heart to other people. So just moving forward with kind of open emotional action, which is really, really a nice card. What is just ahead of you this week is the Ten of Pentacles. So Yeah, I mean, I feel like, this is our card of long-term wealth and security. Now we've got two tens on the table, so make sure you go look up angel number 1010. But it's ahead of you to be thinking about this sort of thing. It looks like your things are paying off. Your hard work is paying off, like your card says. And it's paying off for the long term. It looks like you're making the right decisions, when it comes to things like money, investment, saving, that sort of thing. And if not, of course, this is the new moon. This is a good time to make changes there. If you feel like, wow, I'm looking around and I what's ahead of you is I need to save more money. Well, start, get out and start figuring out where you can make those cuts, where you can save more, do more with it, invest more. But it's on your mind this week a little bit. In your advice position here, while I've seen this card again, I was like, oh, it is June. The advice is to enjoy whatever celebration if there's something, if you have a wedding coming up this week or a party, you're not the only one, because I feel like this card has been in almost all the readings. So go enjoy yourself. You've got all these wands here. You're kind of at just a point where you can. So whether it's a little party, a little get together, or a bigger celebration, a wedding or something like that, the advice is to just, relax a little bit, Libra, enjoy yourself. What is beyond your control this week is a new perspective, another card that I've seen quite a bit. Lots of people are having perspective shifts this week for whatever reason, but it's kind of beyond your control to kind of look at things through a different lens, a different way, to kind of just have a new perspective. So enjoy whatever that might be for you. Excuse me. What is your secret desire, or what are you trying to avoid? Page of Wands. So you're either wanting to nurture some new passion, or you're trying to avoid nurturing a new passion, whatever that might be for you. You'll know it could be anything under the sun, and you may, maybe like, oh, I found this thing and I love doing it. Maybe I'm taking up golf, and oh, I didn't think that I would ever take up golf, but all of a sudden, this friend took me to this golf course, and now I'm excited about doing it. Or the other situation is that you're like, I cannot add golf to the plate at this point. I've got a lot going on. Life is busy enough. So that'll be a question for you. Is it your secret desire to nurture something that you love, and something new to you? Or are you trying to avoid that altogether because you have enough on your plate? So ask yourself that question this week. In your outcome position, Libra is the Justice card. So this is a card of truth. It's a card of balance. It's a card of just things being in order. It's a card of fairness. So you're having that kind of week, lucrative. You're thinking about money, things, you're enjoying yourself. You're looking at things from a new perspective. And there's just a truth that comes about, right? There's an equilibrium. Um, that's like things are done in fairness. And that's a great kind of week. I think the Libras that I know love that. The Libras are so fair. That's just what they are. So that's awesome. What is hidden from you here at the bottom of the deck? That's a great place for that card. No broken heart for you this week. No, no mind splinters. There are no other, I don't see a lot of, I don't see any swords actually in your reading. Your week is very passion and emotion, some pentacles driven, but there's not a lot of communication. So you're feeling a lot more this week. You're not really communicating that too much, but just making some decisions and wrapping some things up and working in fairness and balance. So that's always a good thing. All right, Libra, that was a pretty quick reading. Looks like you're going to have a good week. I mean, I feel like, again, take the time. Your hard work is paying off, and go ahead and allow it. Allow it to pay off. Maybe just enjoy yourself a little bit this week, and that's a good week for you. All right, let's get you a final message here from the Soul Oracle deck. Final words for Libra is to nurture yourself first. Yeah, that kind of goes along with what I was saying. It's a good week for you. Again, it's more internal. I mean, I do think you have maybe a party or a celebration to attend, and go have a good time, but you're thinking about things, a lot of these especially when I see the back of things in the side, I think deep thought, this guy's lost in thought. So is this one. It's kind of being inside your head a little bit this week. So make sure you at least, whatever celebration or fun this might be, get out of your head a little bit and enjoy yourself. But do nurture yourself this week a little bit. All right, let's get you a final message. What does Libra need to do in the way of self-care for this week? Self-care for Libra. And the card you get literally says self. And look at you busting out of your little bird cage there. If beating yourself up worked, you'd be thin, rich, and happy. Try loving yourself instead. I love that. I do love that card. I've seen it a few times. So, Libra, take care of you. Take care of yourself. You've got a lot going on inside your head. Make sure you get out again a little bit this week. Enjoy the company of others. Have a good time, relax a little bit, and enjoy the fruits of your labor a little bit. Your hard work is paying off. So, thank you so much for being here. I hope there's something in this reading, Libra, that you can take and use in a positive way in your own life this week. If you're comfortable sharing, if anything resonated, of course, drop me a comment. Or if you have questions, I'd be happy to answer those as well. Also, if you like my reading style, hitting like and subscribe will help you find me next week. And I think that's pretty cool. You can come back and we can see where this story goes. So thanks again so much for being here, Libra. Have a great week, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.